Good morning and welcome to the Chick-fil-A Impact Accelerator. For the last 2 years, we've been planning this day for you. We've been thinking about how to encourage you today, how to lift your spirits, how to bring hope to you in the midst of this crazy season. And today is all about increasing and accelerating your impact. My name is Jeff Shinabarger. I'm the founder of Plywood People, and it's my pleasure to host this day with you today. And I don't know if you're watching from your living room or your couch, or maybe you actually are at an office. Who knows where you are today, but we're thankful you're with us now. We hope today is an encouragement to you. Plywood is something I lead. Plywood is a nonprofit in Atlanta, leading a community of startups doing good. In the last 12 years, we've been able to do this work, supporting people like you in the mission and purpose that you're trying to pursue. And we're thankful to be doing it here in our place, Plywood Place, today. And 2 years ago, we started having this conversation with our friends at Chick-fil-A and started talking to them about this possibility of encouraging nonprofit leaders just like you. And we started dreaming and talking about it. And I got to share some of the tensions that I feel as a leader. And you may be able to relate with those tensions today. At that time, I was in the middle of too many things. I was in the middle of doing a building campaign for this specific building, and we had already started construction without completely raising the funds, and I was under that stress, right? And I was in the middle of writing a book and not completely done with the research, and there was tension in that. And I was leading a team that wanted me to lead differently, and I didn't know how to connect with every person. And I was doing programming that I felt like needed to change and be more innovative and shift while still teaching the current programming I was doing. And I'm a dad and a husband, and I was maybe present at all those things, but maybe not fully present with my thoughts. Maybe you can relate with those tensions today, where the ambitions that we have outweigh the capacity we can handle. Those are real tensions today, right? And for me, it really played out in one moment where I broke. It was about 1.5 years ago. And I was just around the corner, and we had been doing our big event we do every year called Plywood Presents. And I came early to let the people in that were doing coffee at the event. So I showed up at 6 in the morning to unlock the doors. And all of it hit me too hard that day. It overwhelmed me. You see, on the outside, I was calm, cool, and collected. But on the inside, I was anxious and broken and bitter and started to blame other people. And it was at 6:30 in the morning that my good friend and assistant found me in a back room just right over there. And I was laying on the floor in tears. It overtook who I was. It overtook what I could handle. And you know, sometimes the responsibilities that we feel as nonprofit leaders are too much to bear on our own. And maybe you can relate to this. This is some of the feelings I had that day. I'm going to read this with you about the weight of our work. I have a feeling you might understand these thoughts. In one moment where you're doing some simple task, you start thinking about other things at the same time. You start thinking about leading the program and teaching the program you have to do that day. And then you start wondering if the program is actually working with the people you feel a sense of calling to lead. And then you start thinking, wow, I need to innovate that program and change the program and shift it. And then you start thinking, well, to do that, I actually need to also start at the beginning and increase and change the board that I lead so that it could be more effective for the organization that I lead. And so you start thinking, who can I add to the board? And then you start thinking, if you're like me, am I actually even pleasing my board? Does my board think that I'm doing a good job because you haven't heard from them based on the 20 emails you sent, only one person had responded? If you can relate with that part, you can leave a comment for us. So you start worrying about the board, and then you start thinking, if the board's not engaged, is this organization actually going to sustain? And then you start thinking, if the organization is going to sustain, I actually have to recruit more talent. I need more people on my team to be able to sustain the organization. And then I think, well, what if I lose my current team? I need to encourage my team. What can I do for them to make them feel encouraged and motivated? And then I think, oh, what about if they're not motivated? What about our volunteers? How do I motivate my volunteers? And then I start thinking, about the vision that I have to give to be able to make sure that the volunteers still want to be a part of it. So I think, okay, I need to cast a vision. I need to do it in a new way. And then I think, well, I did that vision last month, and I need to do a fresh and renewed vision this month to keep them excited. And then maybe I need to think of a bigger vision because somebody at some conference like this told me that I have to think bigger, right? And then I start thinking, okay, if I think bigger, then I have to actually raise more money, so I need to attract new donors. And then after that, I start thinking, okay, I need to plan a fundraising event to be able to attract the donors, to be able to do the program, to be able to attract the board, right? You start going and going. And then I wonder if my old donors are going to stop giving. And then I think, I wonder if my old donors already stopped giving. I need to check our CRM. And then I think, well, how do I maintain the CRM? Was I supposed to maintain the CRM, or was that someone on my team? And then I think, well, what does CRM even stand for? And then I keep going into it, and I'm like, I got to find the CRM, and then I got to remember what my password was to enter the CRM. And then while I'm doing that, I start thinking about the payroll that I have to do on Friday to be able to pay my team. And then I start wondering if I have enough money to be able to do the payroll. And then I start thinking about money, and I think about the audit I have to do this year, which then I start wondering if I've actually done my legal and paperwork to maintain the audit so that the foundations can support the audit and all the things. Then I think, if I didn't do the paperwork, am I going to jail? That's a thought I've actually heard a lot from people we serve. And then I start thinking about, did I send all the giving receipts that will go along with that? And then I think, oh, I need to raise more money. Maybe I need to put a new post on social media. So then I think about that. Okay, put a post on social media, and then I need to hire someone. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this post on social media. Maybe I need to hire someone to do the post on social media. Okay, so I need to hire someone, and then I think, well, what would their role be? I need to do a job description for their role to be able to do the social media thing. And then I think, how much would I pay them for that job description to do their role for social media? And then I think, how am I going to pay them? And then I think I need to raise more money again to be able to pay them to be able to do the social media thing. And then I think, I need to do a social media fundraising campaign to be able to pay the person. And I think, wait, I need to hire someone to be able to do that fundraising campaign on social media. It goes on, right? And in the midst of all this, I think about my family again. I'm like, is my wife doing okay? Is she still on board with this whole big vision and mission that I'm doing that I really feel a sense of calling on, but now I'm neglecting her? And then I think about my kids who are in the room next door that are still on Zoom because of school, and I'm wondering if they're actually doing their homework, to which they say they're doing on their screen, right? Like, this is the weight of our work, the responsibility that we hear. When we started this, we were doing it for the mission, and now we're thinking about all of this that you see on the screen right now. If you agree with this, I want to see in the comments, like, I totally understand. Now, I may be completely crazy, but this is the weight of our work. This is the responsibility that we too often feel. This is what I felt that morning at 6:30 when my friend found me, right? Sometimes the weight of our work is too heavy to carry alone. And that's what today is about. Today is about you and the work that you're doing and the mission that you feel and the opportunity that's ahead, and in the midst of it, how to sustain and maintain personally in the midst of the work that we feel a sense of purpose and calling to do. If we're successful today, we want to encourage you because we want you to keep doing this work because it matters. It matters in our community. And my hope today, and our whole team's hope today, is that you don't walk away with just more things to do, more tasks for your work, but that you walk away with hope so that you can continue to bring hope to the community that you feel a sense of purpose to serve. My hope today is that you might connect with one other person of the 250 people that are going to be learning and growing today, that you might connect with someone. Why? Because they actually understand what you are going through today. This is the work we do. This is the opportunity that we have. Today is about reminding you of that hope and of that purpose and why you get to do what you do. So it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure today to host this interaction. You can connect with anyone online that's there by connecting with them through the networking. You probably will be able to connect with any of the speakers that share today. Why? Because they actually are here because they care about you and your work. And today is all about this. Today is all about your impact and your sustainability.